Okay, back once again. Basically I've got no choice. I'm faced with absolute injustice. I hate the camera. I hate making videos. It's really difficult, but the injustice I'm facing I do not accept, and I never will. What did I used to do? What I used to do before May 2018 was teach about awakening, the oneness, the now, enlightenment, awakening through the matrix, and hitting 650,000 tweet impressions every 28 days, and to 110,000 tweet impressions on the greatest political days where everyone on the planet is talking about that subject, followed by global speakers, national speakers and strategists. So what happened? Police beatings. That's what happened, and it's been going on for years. Police setups, but I've just said this is crunch time now. This truly is. I will smoke, because I do smoke since this all happened. I'm not stressed. I'm okay, but I'm stressed right now because I have to make this video. I haven't got a choice. So okay, what happened on the 14th, between the 14th and the 15th of September 2018? Let's just speak briefly about what happened prior to that. I have never left this computer desk since May 2018, seeking access to data, Ministry of Justice, fighting the injustice of the case against me, disclosure never given, thrown at me, my solicitor not speaking to me, or when I said I didn't require that solicitor's services anymore because of that, for that very reason. I'm qualified in law. I know when the game's been getting played, and Ministry of Justice have confirmed it. That guy was, where is disclosure? No disclosure. It was thrown at me in a kangaroo court, which I've been chasing access to data ever since. So I don't understand why Ministry of Justice have an email and then send snail mail through the post months later when video evidence is deleted, which is a cover-up. That's exactly what it is. It's a cover-up of me being beaten by Torquay police and so forth. So on the 13th of September 2018, I finally got justice. I got justice, really. It was, I could actually settle and think, okay, although I've got police complaints and they battered and abused me and chanted abuse at me in gangs at Torquay police station, right, we can deal with that. That's a separate matter. This matter is closed. And, I feel as though what was delivered to me was just. So I had one day, I decided to go to a big event, because I'm always going to big events. I was all over the press for the Trump protest in London and so forth. Big raves. I've done it all my life. I've been all over the world, not a day's trouble, nothing. And I thought, right, okay, get away. Chill. That part's dealt with. We can deal with the next part of, police complaints. Again, when I won last time for them electrocute me 100,000 volts, I can be a gobby cow. There's no denying that. It was the way I was brought up, or dragged up. I had to, I had to be. But, I made a very good professional life after that, and, I've been extremely successful. So I had one day to get ready. I was to stop at Glasgow for one night and go on to my family, who was Scottish. The surname is Wallace, William Wallace, direct descendants, in the Highlands of Scotland for a great big event. And I was going and everything was good, and whoa, finally, that wasn't to be. The police had decided about that was not to be. I went to Glasgow. I got off the flight. I took a picture outside the airport of some flags with Glasgow on it to stay on my social media. where I was. I've been doing social media for years now, at Lily Popley's Twitter, and more recently at Rogue One, Elisa Rogue One Jedi Facebook. I arrived at the hostel to spend one night, and I went and I had a glass of wine down in the bar, and this guy came out of nowhere. But you know, I talk to everybody, I always have, and that's who I am, and friendly, stupidly. I've been followed, sorry, I should have said that. Since May 2018, the Torquay police told everyone in the town I live that I'm some kind of terrorist. I can prove it, because everybody told me, because everybody likes me, and maybe they don't like them so much for doing it to me in the first place. And those people came and told me the truth. And it was like, not according to Devon or Cornwall police, you're not okay. What? What do you mean? What does that mean? Basically, they told everywhere I go that I haven't got the exact words they use, I just know for a fact they did it, because everybody told me. So I had quite a strange reception for a while. Then I went to festival, which turned out to be a far-right festival. I was followed, I was abused, and I was attacked the entire time. You know, I even, like, you can YouTube it. Oh God, can't even recall. I was with some of the band members at the front. Strong, who is that again? Damn. Never mind, you can just hear me singing out that I've never been so wronged. I was getting attacked from every which direction. I have got a video which is obviously the police, because Festival security say without question it isn't them, and boy did they take their time. He came from behind the security fence at me, and it was just a final straw. And you know, I couldn't get my phone charged and all kinds of problems. The whole weekend I was attacked, I was violated, you know, literally physically attacked by some crazy woman. And she grabbed my arm, and it was like, to try and drag me into a fight or something. And I just went, I lifted my hand up into the air to be so obvious and went, are you fucking crazy? And looked at her so that everyone around us could see that she was the instigator. It was nothing to do with me. I got bad vibes, negativity all around me, and that's just not who I am. I've travelled the world and met many, many people and go down as a legend. This was just unreal. That was really the serious beginnings of it. So that was in my hometown, and then I was being followed around, and it was just bizarre.com. So yeah, getting back to which I need to stick with right now. I was going to explain the rest later. And basically the police handed the baton to the Scottish police. I'd had one day of freedom, and I'd fought for justice for months and months and months and months and months ongoing. I've had to invest in a body cam. My YouTube videos show these attacks on my person for no reason. Why am I getting targeted? When I went for that glass of wine, a guy came over, he spoke to me briefly, and I never really paid much attention because there was no real reason to pay any attention. And I've got one rule in my life, and I've always stuck with this rule, because I'm 50 in a couple of weeks. I'm a grandmother, yeah? But over my life, I've attracted a lot of men everywhere I go. I get chatted up, even still, surprisingly, believe it or not, I do. So the number one rule is I never accept a drink from a man, and I never have, ever. Not ever, because then there can be misunderstandings and they think they're with you or something like that. I'm totally free, love my freedom. I don't want nothing like that, so I always say no. This guy spoke to me briefly, as many people do, not very significant, and then he went off, which I didn't even really notice until I thought back over it. And then he reappeared, and his reappearance was taking a large glass of red wine, putting it right in front of me and saying, "Oh, red wine you drinking?" Boom, and put it in front of me. So I wasn't even asked what I was drinking. I wasn't even asked would I like a drink or any of the usual. But I didn't even really think about it and drank the drink. So I became drowsy, and I'd been given Rohypnol in India, so I know what it's like when I lived in India. So I became like really tired. That was what I felt, really tired. But I would have thought that would have been normal for the trip I'd just taken, and, you know, travelling, and the months of stress, and I mean, all sorts of stress I'd been through, and everything that happened. So I went to go off to bed. There was a reception area, and then there was the lifts to go up to the beds, the dormitories, whatever, hostels. I've stayed in hostels all my life. Not all my life, but travelled all over the world. So that's quite normal. When I passed this guy, and you will see the video. I'm uploading this video besides this one because I'm at the end of my tether. My solicitor has just been playing me like the last one. No disclosure. The trial is in a couple of days, and I don't even know what that disclosure says. But I made every attempt on planet Earth by getting authorities in to apply for the CCTV, by making a moment on my Twitter, by officially requesting directly to Eurostar on Facebook, by officially requesting to Hostel World, who I booked through. You name it, my solicitor, getting him to request it. This is a case of it's illegal to delete CCTV. It is illegal. You cannot do that. But they did it. I found out on I had to return to Glasgow to court on the 10th of December, and I put my hand and raised my hand up and said to the judge that I'd done everything in my power to get that CCTV evidence because I wanted to track that guy who gave me that drink, because I ended up, later in that evening, when I was attacked, I was between defending myself rigorously and recording everything, because I came to the point of I had to record what was happening to me there and then, no matter what. And I took a couple of stills and I got him on my phone, and I was not going to stop recording that guy, and he assaulted me 3 times. I get hit to the floor, the camera smacked in my face, he gives a V and the, fingers up, enjoy your weekend, you're going to jail. He called the police immediately. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what is going on? All you get out of me the whole time is, this doesn't make any sense. What's going on? What have I done? Tell me why. Why? What have I done? What have I done? And I start crying because I've been through months and months and months of fighting for justice. And I had one day, I was in the court on the 13th. By the 14th, I just got ready to go. By the 15th, the police were getting called and I was being attacked. It was like, it was just, and I thought, afterwards get the police calls between them. Something's going on, I don't know what, something's going on. After that, when I came back to court to Glasgow on the 3rd, it was declared that the CCTV had been deleted from Euro Hostel. 7 requests. I had a letter with me from authorities stating how cagey they were, how they wouldn't hand it over, how they would, they just wouldn't be addressed about it whatsoever. What were they hiding? You can see what they were hiding on my video. I'm a grandmother and I get smacked to the floor by the reception staff. It's just vile. I attempted to get that to my so-called defence solicitor in September, and he never even told me that he had only received stills, JPEG, not MP files, and he's just never done anything about it. So when I returned to court after the 10th of January, I stated, I'd done everything in my power to prevent that CCTV being deleted, because it held absolute crucial evidence to put with my video to say, he attacked me, watch what he does to me. I shout, don't you do that to me, before he knocks me to the floor. Afterwards, when the police arrive, he smacks the camera and says, fuck you, fuck off with your camera. Oh my God. Did I respond? Oh yeah, I did. Oh yes, I did. I fucking did. You bastard. You fucking bastard. Like anyone would. Anyone would. And it was just surreal. And when the police arrived, the only thing I managed to do, because my family are waiting for me in the Highlands, it's like, I am being arrested. Tweet. That was it. That was all I got to do, yeah? And I was perfectly reasonable with the police, and I spent 88 hours battered naked on a floor in a Glasgow police station with no rights whatsoever, absolutely abused. 2 women on either side of the cells from me said you wouldn't treat an animal the way they treat that woman, myself. My solicitor witnessed I was battered all over my body. I was absolutely violated and abused, again, by the police. As I say, handing over the baton from Torquay police. Absolutely. I went to Glasgow A&E immediately afterwards. I've got a statement from authority that had contact with me. I had no flight home. I will put my hand up. Oh yeah, I raised my voice and I used some choice words to describe that man who abused and assaulted me. Hands up. Breach of the peace. Guilty. And my solicitor on the other, what date was that? The other day, because I'm just back and I've got to get back to Glasgow. It's broke the bank completely. I'm running back and forth like an idiot whilst being battered, assaulted, and, you know, targeted. Yeah, on the 10th of December, a guy in reception at the Clyde Hostel, Glasgow, also attacked me, Wayne Megan, basically for no reason whatsoever. But what he said blew my mind. I don't need the connection between the police calls and the Clyde Hostel. Wayne Megan, Clyde Hostel, yeah, told me I was on the computer in reception to be targeted. Why? Who would say that? Why would they say that? That would be authority. Who would have the power to do that? The only way I got away from Wayne Megan and being assaulted or being attacked, he forced me to switch my body camera off. He was absolutely, I'm calling a friend going, it's happening again. Because I needed to speak to someone he didn't know I was speaking to. I told him I'd go Facebook Live. The CCTV, the police I have 24 recordings of the Glasgow police and the Torquay police playing games that will not accept that I have reported the crime. I've given video evidence, I've given statements, and that has been given to them by authority. I have statements from authority. Because of this, all of this has been going on for months and months and months to prove that they are playing a game. They're corrupt to the core. They're absolutely filthy, dirty women beaters. That's what they are. That's what they are. And I will never, ever, 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 ever stop fighting. I will never give up. I tried to commit suicide in the police station in Glasgow on the 15th of September. I tried to take my own life because they battered me. I had lumps all over me. I was left naked and freezing on the floor. I went on hunger strike for 88 hours. And my solicitor witnessed the lumps, my spine, my neck, my shoulders, my head was bounced off the concrete floor. And even at 88 hours, no rights, no solicitor, no phone call. And they, you know, the 2 witnesses said that they'd treat me worse than you would treat an animal. And, yeah, it's just like I've sent an application for access of freedom of information. The Scottish police denied ever even receiving that. I then contacted them to say, well, Royal Mail wants to investigate you because that's my personal details, my copies of my passport, where is that? Then they decided to fess up and say they had received it. I've never had a single letter of clarification. I've reported crimes online, you name it, I've done it because that's how I am. That's why I've never left my desk since May, working night and day with regards to these outrageous, lawless police, corrupt to the core. And you know what they said then? We've sent it. So there is audio evidence of me naked and battered on the floor in a police cell, New Street Police Station, Glasgow, for 88 hours. Where? I said, did you send that recorded delivery? No. So who's viewing me battered and naked and trying to commit suicide on the floor in a Glasgow police station? Who? Where's that gone? It's, I've been onto the ICO.org, over Torquay police there, and Devon and Cornwall police. They absolutely broke the law, completely lawless. And the only thing I can do is go, oh, it caused me anxiety, and sue them. This is beyond it. This is beyond it. Truly it is. And when you see that man attack me, you will completely understand. And it was a copycat. It wasn't copycat. I was on the computer at Clyde Hostel. I'd just experienced Euro Hostel. And then when I returned to Glasgow to go to court over Euro Hostel for the claims I breached the peace, then it was a repeat attack. The guy told me I was on the computer to be targeted. The police are getting the general public to attack me and to, turning people against me, to watch me, to follow me. What the hell is that? So I just want you people, please, on my YouTube channel, because if you don't see my social media, at Lily Pop Lisa Rogue One Jedi Twitter, just Google that, or Lisa Rogue One Jedi Facebook. I'm there and I'm telling all. I don't care. No one has defended me in court. My solicitor won't even speak to me. I think I trust the prosecution more at this point. They should have stood up and said that these two men who've assaulted me, basically, and you'll see for yourselves, should, once that the CCTV was deleted after so many requests by authority and so forth, that's illegal. It should have been, I should have been defended. That, it should have been thrown out, but I wouldn't have allowed them to throw it out because I want to bring my video evidence forward. I want to express as I am now because I'm not going to get that opportunity. And this is going to the procurator fiscal because I've had to be on to other solicitors. On the 3rd of January, a few days ago in Glasgow, the director from my solicitors, for the second time, the first director said to me, we do things differently here. Oh right, yeah, I know, I've read the reports that you're the most lawless place on earth, that you're absolutely corrupt to the core, and not a single police officer ever, out of any amount of complaints against you, ever has anyone won a case against you. So you battered the F out of me, and I've just got to accept that. No, I'm not. I'm not going quietly. I'm going shouting. And here I am shouting. This is going out on social media. And I wanted to go to Humaz Yousaf. I wanted to go to the Crown Prosecution, the Procurator Fiscal. I wanted to go to everyone on planet Earth, the newspaper, you name it, I want it. Because I'll tell you what, I am walking into another case of crucifixion. As I did one day. The last prison I was in, I worked in. Channons Wood Prison, adult education, and Dartmoor Prison, working, men's prison. And I'm telling you now, right, this is absolute stinking injustice. And I'm just beyond caring because I've lost everything. The police have had me made homeless, 4 years living in peace and harmony where I live. Section 21, you've got to leave. I'm back in Glasgow on the 10th. I'm homeless on the 15th. I can't even get a reference. Why? Because the police said so. I went to the housing officer. Who's the housing officer? Ex-copper. So you have your barbecues with the police, do you? And I've been targeted, have I? Nightmare Neighbours, Series 3, Episode 5. I work for the Home Office Criminal Justice, senior to Torquay Police, Dragons Den Twitter, tweet a pitch winner. I am nobody's fool, and I am not going quietly. Watch that man assault me. Watch them laugh. These two pair of clowns, right, smacking me to the floor. Twice you see at the very end of the video, even when the police arrive, fuck off with your fucking video and smacks me again. My God, if that was your grandmother. Alright, I don't look particularly like a grandmother, but that doesn't come into it. I'm a woman. I shouldn't be disrespected in that way. I shouldn't be attacked by any man. I've had it all year. All year. I'll have a look back on my videos all year. The ones I've been fortunate enough to catch because they're that sly when they attack me. That guy, he's moving all the way around reception. And he comes right up and leans right forward towards the cam. And he's there for a minute or so. And then he smacks me right in the face. Brilliance. Just brilliance. And you know what I said to that guy? When the police arrived, I went, nice one. Got ya. And I did get him full on. And I don't care what. I've nothing to lose because I'm walking into entirely lawless injustice in the Glasgow court on the 10th of January. So why should I give a shit about releasing the video? What my solicitor's not even attempted to, you know, what he has to do is get the judge convinced that this is relative, that this is relative material as evidence, and he hasn't done a bloody thing but ignore me. Who's anyone trying to kid? Because you're not kidding me. I might not be qualified in Scottish law, but I'm qualified in English law, and I'm not stupid. Thank you very much. Had enough. It's going out there. I said it that night, and I meant it. It's going out there right now. Thank you.